Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Dana Churchill, and I wanted to do a quick blog on the coronavirus and what we can do to prevent it. I've done some research on this over the last month and have seen the numbers so far. It says basically the best research that we can get from the Chinese government and now internationally is that there's been approximately 90,000 cases. This might have been information from about a week ago, but what I saw was about 90,000 cases, and out of that, the CDC says that 85% of the cases have spontaneously recovered, which means that it's hard to say exactly, but with the amount of the fatalities and how many cases there are, different reports say different things, but I can get the numbers from approximately 2 to 7% of the cases have died. That's not a huge number, but if you're one of those cases, that's horrible, and it's a horrible thing in itself. The Chinese government should have contained this virus from day one. They didn't. They didn't tell anybody. They actually knew about it in December. We have memos and documents from the government in China. That's coming from the Epoch Times newspaper. They did a lot of undercover research and found that the Chinese government knew about this in December, way before they were forced to tell anybody about it. So unfortunately, we have a bad situation now. We have to deal with it, but that's not the point today. The point is what we can do to prevent this, and it's only serious for the most part for elderly and immunocompromised. It doesn't seem like children are getting the virus very much around the world, which is very interesting. Something on another topic we can discuss on another day. But right now, I just want to go over a few pointers. So first, obviously, you want to wash your hands as much as you can. You want to use some kind of alcohol swabs or alcohol wash whenever you can during the day. You want to wear a mask whenever you're going out into the public, because there's a lot of people you have no idea who they are. We're hearing different stories from different cities, and we know that it is spreading across America, but it's not spreading at the rate that some media are saying. And I just want to plug really quickly here that the media is spreading hysteria as usual, not all media. And I would recommend, if you really want to find out what's going on, you read the Epoch Times, the Epoch Times. It's theepochtimes.com. It's a great paper. It's very conservative. It's not going to start spreading lies or anything. It's incredibly truthful. They actually were the paper that broke the SARS epidemic from China and stopped it from spreading around the world. Okay, so basically let's cover diet. So you want to pull out any possible food sensitivities and anything that could decrease the integrity and the immune system, basically the workings of the immune system. So pretty much that's all sugar, chocolate, sugar, anything sweet, even super sweet fruits like melons and bananas and grapes. I always tell my patients stay away from those. You want to eat as much citrus as possible, pomegranates and berries. Those are the major fruits that will boost your immune system and have huge antioxidants in them, quench a lot of free radical damage that can be done by the virus once it gets in the body. The second thing is you want to eat good protein, really good protein sources. I basically tell my patients, you can eat any protein you want as long as it's grass-fed meats and it doesn't have a ton of chemicals or antibiotics in it. So check your meats out carefully. Fish, salmon's amazing. Anything with fats. Fat is very healthy, very healing for the body. So fats, salmon, any small fish. The big fish have a lot of mercury, so I would stay away from them. And if you're going to eat sushi, don't eat it every week. It has possible for parasites or worms. The second thing is I forgot, dairy, gluten, wheat, those kind of things are highly allergic to most people. So the only dairy I recommend are cheese, if you can handle it, and full fat yogurts. Those are very healthy for you and they will help your gut. Your flora in your gut is 75% of your immune system. So you want to keep that flora very healthy, which can get killed off by alcohol and things like that. The strong toxins you want to stay away from. Obviously, if you're going to drink in moderation. I mean, we're talking like 1 glass of red wine with dinner and not every night of the week. That will keep your immune system strong. Alcohol will definitely decrease the immune system. I wouldn't smoke marijuana. At this point, I wouldn't eat it. I wouldn't do anything with marijuana at all because of what I've seen from it. It's basically can lower the immune system, and patients that have been drinking or eating or smoking marijuana, they took a long time to heal, much longer than everybody else. So I'd say stay away from that, at least till this epidemic or this pandemic is over. Thirdly, caffeine. Caffeine it's a big stressor on the body. It definitely is a stressor. It can lower the immune system, raising your cortisol, and it plays a big part in glucose metabolism. So I would really stay away from coffees if you can help it. I mean, if you could bypass that coffee in the morning and go for green tea, that'd be a lot better for you. Another thing is so here's foods that can kill virus. So raw garlic, you want to eat as much as possible. Raw onions, raw hot peppers, the capsicum really boosts your immune system in a strong way. Turmeric, green tea, as I mentioned before, licorice, olive leaf, elderberry. These things, you can all eat these things. These are foods. These are regular foods. They're not herbals. I mean, they can be herbals, but these, for the most part, they're foods. And I didn't tell you before, like the fats, we're talking about healthy fats like olive oil, fish oil, EPA and DHA, your omegas, your flax oil, your coconut is fine. It's saturated, but it's a very healthy oil. Any of those kind of oils, I just stay away from the vegetable, the canola, those kind of things. And the tallow, the fat, really, those deep meat saturated fats. Also, obviously, eating as many vegetables as you possibly can, all colors of the rainbow. Steamed or raw is probably best. That will keep the integrity of the vitamins in there. And always buy organic and try to go to farmers market as much as possible. Some of the other things I'd like to talk about, these are actually treatments you can do to really boost your immune system. The first one is interesting. There's an essential oil called Thieves. I forget the company that sells it, but they're online. You can find it. And it actually is a combination of essential oils that they used back during the days of the bubonic plague, when people, I mean, this is a story I heard, there were people who were robbers, and those robbers wanted to steal the dead people's wallets and things like that. And they tried to in the beginning, and they would die right away because they would get the bubonic plague. But they found if they put Thieves on a handkerchief and put it up to their mouth and their nose, and they kept it there the whole time, and then obviously they washed their hands and didn't touch anything with their hands, and I don't know how they did it, but supposedly the story goes that they didn't die. So this is the same formula that worked for the bubonic plague. So what I would do, and what we're going to do in our new clinic, is take diffusers, have multiple diffusers all around the clinic, which is diffusing these oils constantly all day long. So if it is even in the air, the aerosol spray from the diffusers will kill it. A few therapies I would recommend. So vitamin C, actually, there was some pretty good research out of China that vitamin C IVs were working well to help the people there with the virus to kill it, and they would recover much faster if they were doing vitamin C IVs. One note here is if you're going to do a high dose vitamin C, you need to get a lab test called a G6PD before we can go over 20 grams of vitamin C, just so you know that. But we're finding 20 grams works really well. The second, okay, so other IVs you can do that we have is a colloidal silver IV. Colloidal silver is very, very powerful. So you can do it orally, you can spray it. We have a spray. The research that we have behind it is quite good, and definitely every virus it comes in contact kills. So, and it also boosts your immune system in a huge way. So we have the vitamin C, we have the ACS silver, that's the one we use right now. We have the hydrogen peroxide IVs, and then ozone. Ozone IV is probably the best IV you could possibly do. Ozone just kills every microbe, every bad thing. It goes right as soon as you do the IV, goes through your blood and just scours the blood and kills all bacteria, virus, fungus, parasites. It helps with Lyme disease a lot, and it will kill that to some degree. The other things you want to look at, we also have a performance and recover IV, which we usually do 2 killer IVs in a row, and then we do a performance and recovery IV, which has 4 different vials, and each vial has 7 ingredients in it. One's amino acids, one's mineral, one's vitamins, and one's a vitamin C. And we've been putting that together, and people love it. They've been feeling great, a lot of energy from that. So some of the nutraceuticals you could use, there's an amazing nutraceutical called NT Factor Multi-Immune that's coming out of Research Nutritionals. I think that's probably the best one on the market, if you can even find it right now. I know they're back ordered, and we can talk about a few others. The ACS Silver, a really good mushroom formula. I love Econugenics. I've been using a lot of the Mycophyto, very powerful stimulating mushrooms. Mushrooms are a huge boost to the immune system. Also, we are looking at the different mushrooms will be reishi, maitake, cordyceps, Coriolis, shiitake. Curcumin is a great antioxidant and also kills bacteria and virus. So find a good turmeric or curcumin formula that has an essential oil attached to it, or a phospholipid, as they say, because then it will be able to absorb into the cells. And pepper, piperidine, also is a good bet with that. If you can't find it and you have some, just take some olive oil every time you take your turmeric. As we said, there's the IVs, there's the nutraceuticals. Okay, so some of the tinctures we're using. I have an amazing tincture. It's an antimicrobial tincture. It's a proprietary blend of herbs that kill virus and bacteria. It has about 27 different herbs in it. I compound it myself. I have a lab compounded. That's my strongest defense against everything. And it's funny because I've used it with a lot of my patients. And one of my patients was joking that he said, if it doesn't work, head for the hills, never look back because it's not of this earth. And everybody jokes about that because this stuff is so strong. It tastes like crap. It's got a third garlic in it. It stinks, but it works amazingly well to kill everything. And some of the herbs in there is astragalus, echinacea, golden seal, berberine, garlic, some very powerful herbs. Usnea. Usnea is a great herb for the lungs. If you look at it, it's old man's beard. It actually looks like the lungs itself. It's one of those herbs you find that can have the same type of integrity of the anatomy that a lot of times will work. And this one does. We have research on it. It works quite well. And just a few more things. So the peptides are incredibly powerful. They're a little bit more expensive, but they work better than just about everything. So we're talking about thymosin alpha-1. You're talking about like BPC 157, TB500 or thymosin beta-4, or LL37 is a new one. Very powerful immune system properties. Then I actually have a superfood smoothie I put together with multi-herbal formulas, herbs. It has dried fruits. It has algae. It has maca in it. I mean, it's really big. We're using, I'll just tell you guys real quick, this Green Ninja Chi is some amazing stuff. And the other one this company makes is the Merlin's Magic Root Elixir. These are some of the best formulas I've seen for smoothies. And I'll just plug Billy here. Billy has an amazing superfood smoothie, Billy's Infinity Greens. I've used that for years, and I mix it with other things. And we make a powder. It makes it a lot easier for people. But it probably has about 400 or 500 ingredients in there. It's really supercharged. So you could take that with you on your trips, and you just mix it with some maybe pomegranate juice, or you can mix it with some of the nut milks. You can throw some nuts in there. Some of your fatty acids can go in there. You can do the whole thing in the morning before you leave the house. You don't have to worry about it for the rest of the day. The rest of the day, you can just be taking supplements with you. And then lunchtime, a lot of people have been coming for IVs. It only takes an hour to do an IV. So that day, instead of running around the track, try to keep your body strong. You don't need to work out too much, just enough during these hard times. You do the IVs once or twice a week. You take your peptides and your nutraceuticals with you, and you're safe. Basically, you're safe. You wear your mask. You have gloves when you're doing things. Also, one thing I didn't mention, if you're touching money, be very careful. The money can have the virus on it. So I would wash your hands every time after you touch any kind of money. That's about it. We do have other stronger treatments. There's been some really good research out of China that says the MSC cord blood stem cells have worked great for lung problems when people are starting to get really sick and they're having some damage to the lungs. The MSCs will completely rejuvenate that and fix the lungs, and they'll also kill virus, bacteria, fungus, a lot of microbes as well. Okay, I hope that helps everybody. Thank you very much for listening, and you have a great day, and I hope everybody stays safe and healthy the next few months until we can beat this thing. We can do it. Thank you very much. Have a great day.